Hi there. Thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into News Flash. Of course, Kwaku bringing you fellow Ghanaians. It's going to be back again tomorrow. And the Bonoa arrest and all of that. And we're also getting into some news for you this morning here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into the bigger conversation. And we're looking at things that matters to you most. You can also share your thought with us here on the show. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you can also share your thought with us on Facebook. And we'd like to say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones, Papa Fee. It is the kindest courtesy of Franco Trading Enterprise. We bring you News Flash this morning. Make sure you walk into any of our branches and enjoy the very best that we have for you in terms of gadgets. And we're talking about phones, Samsung, Nokia, and also you can get your home appliances. Now, if you need a blender, microwave, if you need air conditioning, television, we've got the biggest screen you can ever get. Make sure that you walk into any of our offices, our branches, and you can do business with us. Franco Trading Enterprise says, still phones, Papa Fee. Download the app now. It's the Franco Trading app. Download the app and you can get closer and closer to Franco Trading Enterprise. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can also get all the updates that you need when it comes to Franco Trading Enterprise. And of course, Koa Naturals fruit juice is what you need this morning, afternoon, and evening. If you are getting yourself some activity, you need to discover the authentic taste of Ghana with Koa Natural. Enjoy a fresh taste from cocoa with Koa Natural, a healthy juice made from the white pulp that surrounds the cocoa beans. And this drink is here for you. It's also for you to share with your friends, your family, and loved ones out there. It's naturally refreshing and stimulating every taste bad. Now, Koa Natural is proudly Ghanaian, and it's good for you, and it's good for the Ghanaians cocoa farmers as well. So please do well and make sure you also grab yours this morning as you begin your day. Now, today we are looking at the issues of government. 2026 projections and all of that. We're going to be looking at some of the issues that has to do with the NPP primaries, which is coming off on the 31st of this month. We're looking at the campaign, the social media drama, of course, the prophecies there is. And also, we're going to be looking at the 24-hour economy implementation of the budget of 2026, and also the big push project and its potential impact on the economy. We'll be looking at that also when it comes to the political temperature in Ghana moving forward in 2026. Now, activities of political parties and smaller parties. Now, the question we're asking, are we going to have the opposition, the NPP, go on and be the opposition we all want to see? The CPP and, of course, the United Party, are they also going to come out strong to ensure that we're able to push this government, which is in power, to do what they have to do? We'll also be looking at also the possible demonstrations of government performances. In the past, we've seen that happen with stakeholders and also CSO's involvement as well, contributions to the growth of the economy. We'll be looking at that also here on the show. And of course, we're talk about government officials and accountability. We're going to see more of that this year. And you can also share your thought with us on these very issues that we're taking a look at. It's the biggest political outlook for 2026 that we're taking a look at. You can share your thought with us. Let me introduce my guest in the studio who are already seated this morning. And I've got here with me the communications team member for the NPP, Mr. Richard Jemfe, is here with me. Very good morning to you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother.
And thanks for making time for us this morning. We appreciate you. And also joining us this morning, Honorable Daniel Ashiama is here with us, and he's a former NDC MP for Buem constituency. And I want to believe you're still acting executive for the the director of Complementary Education Agency as well, right? Still holding the fort.
Yeah.
Good.
Just
you're very passionate about education.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
7 months ago. So how can I be out of that position?
Well,
unless I
it happens anyway. So yes, I just want to be sure that you're still holding. But of course, you've got some very great, ideas for education.
That's right.
And this you've contributed a lot as well to that. And so thanks a lot for making time for us this morning as well. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You look good, by the way, in suit.
Thank you so much. You look good too.
I'll try. Also with us this morning here on the show, I've got the communications director for United Party, which we are praying that it becomes the biggest opposition party hopefully.
Absolutely.
Mr. Solomon also is
I'm not part of the we. So we have to categorize it quite well.
It's really the party remains the only credible opposition in this country at the moment.
Oh, they remain the only credible opposition.
Yeah, the only credible opposition.
Is it?
The only credible opposition.
Are you pushing as much as the NPP is pushing?
There is no NPP. They are just going to collapse after 31st. We are taking over the United Party. Read my lips, go to this date. The next time you hold an election in this country, it will be the United Party that will be the talk of town and no other political party. And mark today's date.
I see.
Yes, the more you continue to classify them as the biggest opposition party, then they become swollen-headed as though they are bigger. Who is the biggest?
We've gone past that stage now.
Yeah, but the Ghanaian is not thinking about the party that has the practical solutions to our problems. To deal with the teeming unemployment we have in our hands. So that is what is in town. And I dare say after 32 years, you don't need any Swiss to tell you that. The two of them, they have no solutions to our problems. And that is why the United Party remains the only credible alternative we have in this.
Who are the two of them?
Yeah?
Who are the two of them?
What?
I mean, reference.
Which party are you representing?
I'm not in opposition.
You are in power, but I'm taking you out of
You
power.
are governing, and you are turning fresh.
Hey, can you imagine?
You are turning fresh. You are governing.
It says we are governing. You can also share your thought with us this morning. We would also be joined by Musa Dankwa, Director of Global Info Analytics. Along the line, he'll be joining us this morning as well. Dr. Asa Asante would also join us this morning. He's a political scientist. And so you can also join us and share your thought with us this morning. Let us know what you think about the issues that we'll be looking at this morning here on Newsflash. Now, I would like us to start on the issue of the implementation of the 2026 budget. Of course, the bigger one that everybody's looking forward to is the 24 hours economy, and also the fact that the big push projects, have got some also big things to do in terms of road constructions and all of that. So I would like us to start from that. But we've already seen the budget. I mean, implementation-wise, I'll start with you. A lot of people are looking forward to big things in 2026 as the NDC in that position. We've seen the budget. We've seen the comments that have come as far as the budget is concerned. 2026 is here. Are we ready for this?
Thank you very much, and I say good morning to viewers and my dear colleagues. I think today is my first day in 2026, let's say in school or at work. So I enjoy Prime. From here, I'm going to office. We're resuming today.
Okay.
My brother, unto the Lord be thy glory. Great things God has done in the lives of Ghanaians. I particularly give a very big thank you to God. Because at the end of 2024, when I look at the balance sheet of Ghana, so scary. Because we campaign vigorously. And I was telling myself that it is only God who can save Ghana. I was thinking that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will have a hectic time in 4 years to get to maybe where we are today. But by the grace of God, things just turn around in a way that when you listen to Ghanaians, their comments, red tablets, you see that the comments are not so bad. The most welcoming ones are the known opposition members, especially so the NPP. They will be praising the government in a way that, I think on Saturday I listened to one of our colleagues at the Newsfile.
Yeah.
Says that without Mahama, he will vote for Baumia. You get a lawyer. What does that tell you? Because he has seen something good. Now, coming back to 2026 budget, what do you think can prop up this budget to work well? You look at the 2025 performance. Those are the things that you have to...
A strong indication enough?
Yes. Because if you are going for a war and there is no bullet in your gun, how can you tell me that you can conquer? Now, the economic indicator shows clearly that we have a lot of bullets to fight that economic fight. And to me, I will employ all Ghanaians to join the government. Because, look, in my office, I don't do politics. When I come to the station, I'll do it vigorously like you've invited me.
Yeah.
And so looking at 2026, where the inflation has come down to 6.3, it means something to the businessman who want to invest. That is what it is. The interest rates moving from 30% on treasury bills, coming down to about 11.
Which we still believe can be better.
Yes, we are moving forward.
But do we see that happening? I mean, last week, that conversation
it must be better with time.
Better than what we have right now.
It must be better with time. And that is why I first sang a song thanking God that had it not been God's miracle, prudent management of our economy, we wouldn't have gotten here. And so once we've gotten to a stage where now the treasury bills rates move to what? About 11%. It tells a business person who wants to invest in the country that, come on, I can do something now. If I take the loan, if I get some funds from the government, the interest will not chop off all my profit. So that is what we should be looking at. And this has given the power to the big push projects. You remember His Excellency told us last year that he's pleading with Ghanaians that in these 4 years, Ghana will become a construction site. And people are attesting to that. I can attest to that from my constituency, from my region. And others too are saying it. Even in Accra, what does that tell you? It tells you that there are better days ahead. Now, what about our debt levels? They have come down. We can still do more, and we will do more. That a nation, Ghana, didn't go outside to borrow in a whole 12 months tells you something. I was in Parliament in 2017 as a member of Parliament. The first time Ken Ofori-Atta came to the floor of the House, he pleaded for physical space. And when a finance person pleaded for physical space, it tells you that he needs money. And that is where he started borrowing 2.25 Templeton bonds, you remember? That is where it started. And continues every year until 2020 that they say, no, we will not give you again because we are not seeing your proper plans to repay back. Today, we didn't go.
Is it the fear of borrowing and knowing very well that Ghanaians are not in a position to understand any person who wants to go and borrow again?
That is not it.
If the foundation was really strong, would you not have gone to borrow?
That is not it. The appetite for borrowing in that government was so high, so high. Now we came in 2025. What did we do? We saw the opportunities on the ground and we capitalized on them. We not only capitalized on them, we adopted prudent management. You get right? Where the president of the country tells you in the first place that even though we have the opportunity to hire people, maybe even up to 125 like Nanado, I am hiring or appointing 60. What does that tell you? Before even coming to, it tells you that this person is trying to tell you that he's coming to manage your resources with few persons to employ or bring about efficiency. And that is what has happened. Even as we speak, we have 58. Look at the balances. And that is what we are talking about. The big push project, it is not going to be a 9-day wonder. It must be a project that we must all embrace as industrialization project.
And you've got three years to convince Ghanaians that...
And that is what we are doing, that it should not be... Look, the time I
understand the extension of it. I mean, government after government would have to consider. But then again, you have only 3 months to convince Ghanaians that you started something quite impactful.
Yes, you know, the principle of iceberg, that when it comes to advertisement, those things that is, the part of the ice that you see at the top, the bigger is under. And that is how to strategize and form the administration of that project, the strategies to adopt. The basic idea behind it is that let us produce and consume so that we reduce the importation of what? Things that we can produce. And so if we put structures in place and we are able to produce, look at this here, the food stuff that you have, tells you that we can do it and we are able to produce, it means that we are going to reduce the amount of money we use to import foods into this country. The youth are there. There are multitudes of youth today who are looking for jobs. It is not just going to be cutlass and hoe. So if technology is employed and deployed and the youth are engaged, we'll be there because our balance sheet too is good.
Okay, Honorable, let me hold you on here and then move to Richard. I'll come back to you again because we're looking at the bigger one, which is the 24-hour economy. I don't know how you intend to achieve that, but Richard, 2026 budgets, we're in 2026.
Yeah,
it's positive. You think we can achieve all the things we want?
Yes. Good morning, and this is my first time meeting my honorable colleagues, and I pray that 2026, in terms of life, and all our expectations will come true. It's not easy, especially when you are speaking from the opposition point of view. But God has been faithful.
It's a tough one.
God has been faithful. The 2025 has really come quicker than expected, and we are all grateful. I want to extend sincere greetings to the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyameche, who has been my mentor and spiritual father for all these years. Honorable is sitting here. I just want to draw NDC and his likes attention to the fact that you are in government. It's been nearly 365 days since the Ghanaian people bestowed their trust in you. And sometimes when they get the opportunity to speak to the people, it appears that they do forget themselves. Sometimes they feel like they are still campaigning. We will do, we will do, we will do. Honorable made a point that when Ken Ofori-Atta, the first budget statement, he requested for a loan. So it draws your attention because you asked him, perhaps the situation that he came to meet.
If you have a solid foundation.
Absolutely.
Which is still...
And you are here, clamoring all the praises on you that you've been 2024 till today, you have not gone for a loan. So think about it. What I'm saying is that Honorable is still praising the NDC government and showering all of praises as if Ghanaian, everything is okay in this country. My brother, the sad aspect and the true reflection of this Mahama government is that 36,000 young people have been sacked. And whilst you and your family and the NDC cronies were enjoying this Xmas, 36,000 Ghanaians are...
What sector are we looking at?
Across the sector. We all know the first stroke of pen.
Different.
The first stroke of pen by this government via the chief of staff was to sack all young people who were actually legally, in my best opinion, employed.
According to them, they had some irregularities.
According to them, it hasn't been proven yet. I know people who I helped, facilitated to get jobs in the civil sector, and they've been sacked. True, and in fact, there was a point where because of this blatant sacking of young people, it really affected one of their NDC's organizer's wife. So it tells you how the discrepancy in this thing. Again, we have over thousands of young teachers and nurses who have worked. If you add just December to it, it means that they've worked for 12 months. Government or governance is a continuum. Would you agree?
Yeah.
They've been paid for only 1 month. And you sit here and say that you've enjoyed, the year has been good, your balance is good. But these are the people who joined the queue on 7th December because of all the things, all the good things that you told them and casted their votes for you. These are worrying reports that are coming from the streets. Now, when it comes to the budget, I'm surprised that he conveniently didn't touch about the 24-hour economy. I know Parliament has passed the appropriation bill of 357.1 billion. And it's easy for Parliament to pass this bill because I say the current Parliament that we have, whether good or bad, is basically a rubber stamp Parliament. Because irrespective of the arguments that we'll put up, the final decision will let's subject these debates to a vote. And clearly, the people of Ghana have given the sure mandate to NDC. They are overwhelmingly the majority in terms of numbers. So I say this as a rubber stamp parliament. Now, it's different giving promises and different in actually executing the promises.
They haven't.
And the first thing of trust is, what did they do when we approved the 2025 budget? That is the only measure we can use to evaluate whether all the flimsy good things that NDC is promising can be realized. My brother, in the last budget, they told us that they were going to give Agric Ministry 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. Today, and I know you guys, you do your fact check. We are in 2026 budget, which the appropriation bill has already been passed by this parliament. Can you prove to me that even 50% of the 1.5 billion that they promised to allocate to the Agric Ministry has been achieved? In fact, they were specific about fisheries, and they are all the playmakers in the fishery department. They are still crying because from the budget, they've only realized 30% of what was promised them. We were in this country. That's your current Minister of Education on June 25th, 2025, said that by the end of this year, they were going to employ 50,000 new teachers and 10,000 non-teaching staff by the end of 2025 by Haruna Idrisu. As I speak to you, zero, zilch. So you can put all the nicest things in the budget to get your nowadays there's been a paradigm shift in terms of reporting. And it's interesting that hitherto we'll be watching Joy, we will be doing this, but now there's a new crop of information disseminators, that is the bloggers. And interestingly, it appears that the NDC have solely targeted these young people, and then something small for the boys, and you'll be splashing here and there. So when you go to social media, you feel the sense that they are doing well, and they are just showering praises on themselves. But if you go to the streets, people are struggling, my brother, because of these empty promises. Now,
and it's the same with
yes, the number one mantra, I'm coming to that, was that your implementation of 24-hour economy. That for every job, this was a significant campaign message I've ever come across. It was so difficult during the campaign in 2024 as NPP to even explain to my own family that what they are saying is good to the ear, but it is practically impossible, given all the added requirements that needs to make sure that this vehicle of 24-hour economy really ran. So what they did was that they gave was the Honorable Guzitano and his team to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
No problem. When they came, what did they say? They told us that they need 4 billion cedis to make sure that this actually come to realization. So 4 billion. What did Minister Atuforsen allocate to 24-hour economy? Even today, 110 million Ghana cedis, less than 5% of it. So,
but the 24-hour economy is progressive, isn't it?
It's progressive. Have you seen it? They were emphatic that every job in this country, whether public sector, whether private sector, because their chairman, who I understand is trying to run for president, even said that the 24-hour economy will be that prominent and profound in this country that even semi-formal sector, like a welder, that was the exact example that he used, that welders will be working 24 hours because at night there were going to be an agreement between the government of Ghana and ECG, where kilowatts power that has allowed you to run your electricity will be at a reduced rate, so that when you are working at night, obviously you are going to have the advantage. Have you realized that? We were told here
that they want to start that this year.
They want to. It's been 365 days. That's what I'm saying. That they shouldn't be always talking as if they are on campaign platform. Tell us what you've done so far. The list that we entrusted in, you've not delivered. There are a lot of things that they've not delivered. Hey, Women's Development Fund, a lot that I can mention.
Okay.
But let me finish. Let me finish with the 24-hour economy.
For me and then,
they told us for every job, there will be 3 people. So one will come 8 to 2. The other person will come to 2 to 6 and whatever. They give a lot of flimsy, nice words about 24-hour economy. As I speak to you, every indication, all the players in this sector tells you that if you need 4 billion Ghana cedis to make this run and you are allocating 110 million, you are just playing.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
All right.
It's just a political slogan and nothing practical about this 24-hour economy. So if you're a young man sitting and waiting to be employed under this scheme of 24-hour economy, you have been swindled by the NDC.
Very well. All right. You can also join us by sharing your thought with us. Our WhatsApp line is active. You can send your messages over there. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can also send your message there as well. Newsflash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise and Koa Natural Fruit Juice. I would move on to the next person to actually have this conversation. Now, let me come to you, Mr. Solomon. You are looking forward to becoming the opposition or the alternative that everybody should be looking out for. Your assessment of 2026 budgets, I'm sure, will be quite different from what other parties looking at. But you can also zoom in into the 24-hour economy, if whatever you think about it. But do you think that whatever we have done in 2025 is a progressive of what we're going to see in 2026 in terms of how government approached the budget for 2026?
I mean, the truth of the matter is that the government needed to do what they did in 2025. All of us were aware that the economic indicators were not good. We just have to face reality. Inflation was at 23%. You had your currency wobbling, you had your debt to GDP that had crossed a certain line. So from our GDP perspective, which I have a copy here, we told Ghanaians that to be able to govern this country and govern it well.
This is for your party.
The former party.
Without a plan, you know, if you fail to plan, you'll be planning to fail. And what we have been doing to ourselves as a country is that these two political parties, they always give you a manifesto, and manifestos are only a set of policies, only promises, not backed by any actionable plan. And that is why many a time they come into governance and they fail. We have given this country a plan to rely on. If we tell you that we will achieve a single-digit inflation, we show you how we are going to achieve that. So we had met the president, the current president, and given him this GTP to go through it and then see whatever he thinks would add to his administration. First on the list, as you could see here, we are written here, is economics. I mean, the macroeconomic environment. We have said that to be able to engage in any meaningful development, he needed to stabilize the macroeconomic environment. You couldn't plan with an economy where inflation was always on the ascendancy. 23%, 54%, and so on and so forth. So deal with that, bring it to a single-digit figure so that people will know that there is stability. Deal with the issue of the currency fluctuation, the stability of the city. Deal with the debt portfolio, bring it down, reduce government's intervention in terms of borrowing from the market so that the private sector could go in and then engage the banks to be able to expand the economy. Mind you, it is not government that employs. Any country that relies on government to employ most of its citizens is bound to fail. Many a times, successful countries, they create the enabling environment for the private sector to thrive, to engage more people. In this country, government employ not more than 700,000 people, but we have more than 10 million Ghanaians working. What it means is that it is the private sector that is the engine of growth in this economy. So your focus must always and always be on the private sector. That is why, how come we also insisted that the interest rate should come down, and when it comes down, the Bank of Ghana must move a notch further by causing banks to be dedicating some of their profits to businesses without providing collaterals, landed properties. A young man has finished university, he wants to enter into the business field. He goes to bank, they give him the requirement, they say landed property. How is a young man going to get a landed property to secure the facility? So that it is only the Bank of Ghana that can come up with regulations to deal with this. Underlining every budget is what all things being equal. Budget is simply expenditure, revenue and expenditure. Government expects that within the year it is going to mobilize X amount and out of that will expend Y amount. So if the X does not come, Y does not happen. That is underlining every budget. So the appropriation you have it about 350 billion Ghana cedis. That's not the case. Government says that it intends to mobilize close to 268 billion cedis as revenue for 2025-2026, and intends to expend close to about 269 or so billion. What it means is that if the revenue side does not come, all the lofty ideas, all the projects that has been lined up in the budget can never be materialized. And where are the revenues going to come from? From your foreign exchange, from taxes that we pay here, and also reducing corruption. If we are mobilizing all the revenue and people are stealing the money, how do you achieve this? So
I've not done well with that in terms of corruption. A lot of people believe that there hasn't been any major scandal in 2025.
I keep saying that if you are going to make the NPP the benchmark, you see these people are said, forget about the last 8 years.
The macroeconomic, they have not done anything about.
No, they have done. That's why I say that if you say they have done well, how can I say that 23% inflation as of 2024 and now you are doing 6.3, I will come and sit here and say that the government has not done that. They have done very well in terms of the macroeconomic environment.
Okay.
But that is not enough. It is now for them to ask it to a takeoff and give us that much needed jobs. As my brother was saying, but here again, I don't know. That's why I say we have two set of opposition parties, the responsible opposition parties and the irresponsible ones. Because I heard Kojo Pomkoma put a figure of 10,000 to the number of people that lost their jobs after the NDC taking over. Now my brother Jeffy is also saying that 36,000. So within the same party, there seems to be conflicting figures. They need to reconcile and give it. But the United Party is doing a meticulous job to come out with the actual numbers and why those people actually needed to leave the public space. Because you see, there's also another side to bloating of public sector employees. We are paying taxes. If you are expending close to 90% of your revenue on emoluments and compensation and interest payment, then you are left to only 10% to engage in capital expenditure. So you don't blow the public sector. And if the government that told us that they had employed 2.3 million, remember, the Eswal administration told us that they employed 2.3 million Ghanaians. If indeed that was true, how would we be having such a teeming youth unemployment in this country? We have been ruling that last 32 years, these two parties, the NPP and NDC, they have been ruling with propaganda. But you can do that, but the reality of the day is that the person, that young man that finished university, who has been in the house for 4 years, 5 years, who is not having job, none of your propaganda will work on the person. That person needs progressive solutions to deal with his or her problem. So on the economic front, they have done well. What they have to do is to translate the gains that they have made into actuals, into ensuring that there are more jobs so that we do not see those despicable acts that we witnessed in November. One young man said they wanted to be recruited into the Ghana Armed Forces. Out of that, 6 youthful Ghanaians lost their lives. Why do you think that young men will be rushing to be recruited into the military? Because there is no jobs. There is no jobs.
So based on the indications for 2025, do you see that what you're saying happening in 2026?
No, it has to be. If all these figures that we are being given are true figures, then what it means is that there is a correlationship between inflation, exchange rate, and your interest rate. If interest rate comes down substantially, and the banks are not going to do lazy work, and the Bank of Ghana is going to sit on them, they will have no other option than to extend the monies to the private sector. Now here again, if the interest rate has come down to around 2025, but it is woefully inadequate. We are competing with our neighbors. Togo is doing a policy rate of about 5% plus 2 minus 2 as your risk profile. You are doing about 7% to businesses. Burkina, that is also being governed by a military person, is doing around the same figure of 5%. Ivory Coast is doing 5%. Nigeria, that we expect our economy to be better than them in terms of management, they are doing less than 13% as their policy rate. So we cannot be hovering around the 20% mark, when indeed we have to be getting it to the single digit. And once we do that, like I said, the Bank of Ghana must intervene. Like they are intervening with their dollar. Yeah. There is nothing wrong to make sure that loans are actually advanced to Ghanaian businesses. You hear one too many that tiptoe Ghanaians are fighting with our ECOWAS brothers because the Ghanaian is borrowing at a very high rate, because that rate that he's borrowing is out of that money that he uses up to go and rent a shop at tiptoe. So he's unable to compete with the West African counterparts. And that is why you need to bring the Ghanaian to that level where he or she can compete favorably. And we expect them to do that. Again, their big push is a good thing. You cannot achieve growth in any economy when your road sector is not good. Remember, once again, propaganda governance. We were told in this country that we were doing year of vote 2017, year of vote 2018, year of vote 2019. So by this time, KMG, the reasonable assumption is that most of our major roads in this country would have been done with. But propaganda once again. We went to the Afrexim Bank, we borrowed $750 million. Somebody somewhere, sitting somewhere, decided to chop the money on where we can.
Oh, come on, Solo.
Somebody sitting somewhere, and I'm very surprised that my brother Richard would deliberately take it out.
Oh, come on, Solo.
Meanwhile, the two of them, when they started mentioning the name of God. That is why I've been telling you, this business of people referring to God, we have to take a second look at it. Afrexim $750 million, we could not use it to complete any of the roads. All the major roads leading out of Accra are in a very terrible shape. Accra to Kumasi, not the best of shape. Accra to Takoradi and to Elubo, not the best of shape. Accra to Aflao, not the best. So the year of roads 2017, 2018, 2019, which roads are the roads in space? Or that we were told, KMG, don't forget that a total of close to 12,000 kilometers of road were constructed under the S1 administration. But for purposes of education, 12,000 kilometers of roads is Accra to Shanghai. That is the distance. That's what they told us.
Oh, come on.
That is a distance, Richard.
So are you telling me that road construction is a linear?
No, that if you...
what are you talking about?
But what? He said, you didn't give me... No, but what is he talking about?
No, you're not
he said, the government said...
Can you make it such a simplistic...
I don't think that is...
That's such a simplistic...
No, what I'm saying is that they told you that they constructed 12,000 kilometers. I'm here as a
he's a United Party.
But you see, Richard, when we are doing analysis, you have given me a figure. And I'm telling you the distance between Accra and Shanghai.
And so road constructions must be linear. Is that what you are saying?
The combination of all the roads that you have constructed, what you're telling me is that if you are going to put all the distances of roads you have constructed, it amounts to 12,000. I'm saying
these are different.
Yes. So I am only bringing it down to the level of the ordinary person, that if all the roads that were constructed were to be put together, it equates from Accra to Shanghai. That's what I'm doing. Okay. And am I not allowed to do that? Why must you have a problem with this simple thing?
We are just repeating the NBC rhetoric, and that is how come I'm there.
Oh, but this is unfair to me. I have come here early morning. I woke up and told my kids that I was going to represent the United Party. You are telling me that this is NBC. I started saying
the NBC rhetoric.
NBC, do they have rhetoric? They are in power. They are supposed to govern. We are in opposition. Remember, I've been in opposition longer than you. You just came out of power. So why are you saying that?
Let's make some progress. We'll be looking at our next conversation. I think we've exhausted the 24-hour economy as well. The big push to...
It's been a sham.
Yes, I think we've exhausted that. We'll be looking at the NPP preparations ahead of the elections on 31st. I'm sure it's one of the biggest things that will happen this month. I mean, beyond the campaign, I'm sure by now a lot of people are also looking at the social media conversations, the drama, and also the prophecies that have come with regards to that election. Now, this is elections, the election that will provide one person who is going to lead the party and subsequently also getting into the 2028 presidential elections as well. And so we're going to be looking at that. Musa Dankwa will be joining us this morning. I'm not too sure if we've been able to connect with him, but once we're able to connect with him, let me just find out. Musa Dankwa, good morning, if you can hear me. Hello? Okay, as and when we're able to get him, we'll put him on for him to also share his, take on that with us this morning. All right, Musa Dankwa, good morning. Hello?
Voices.
Can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah.
Hello?
I have unmuted.
Okay, I think we can hear you now. Good morning and thanks for joining us this morning here on the show.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Great. We've been talking about January, the biggest election for the NPP and all of that. We're gradually getting there. What are your indications looking like? Are we still where we are, or we're seeing some changes as we fast approach January 31st? Hello, are you there? Okay, I think we're having issues with your microphone. Can you please check it for us and then let's see. Let me get back to the studio. When I get him, I'll switch over and then have a conversation with him. But Richard, are we prepared enough?
For the 31st. Oh, fantastic.
Beyond the drama on...
Well, you see, the fact still remains that the New Patriotic Party is the largest and biggest opposition party in the country. We are evolving following the 2024 defeat. And the stalwarts or the leadership of the party had to find out the reason that led to this significant defeat. And some of the things that came out was to conduct an introspective research to find out what is wrong with the party, and then retrospection into our party as the party base. So if you recall, Professor Michael Okwei report came, and one of the key thematic thing that came out was that we didn't have enough time following the 2023 primaries where we elected our flag bearer. The flag bearer didn't have enough time to actually embark on reconciliation because it was very heated with the other parties involved, and then garnered the required support in terms of unison vision to go and take on the NDC. At the time we elected our flag bearer, the NDC had enough time where John Mahama, the president, was moving, crisscrossing the country, selling his ideas. And so in the party's wisdom, we decided that I think it would be prudent if we bring the presidential primaries quite forward for the flag bearer to have enough time for reconciliation and all the other recommendations that prop up from the Okwei's report and other independent reports that we've conducted, so that we can work within the party, work on these things, and then have enough time to execute our message to the Ghanaian people to take over 2028. So far, it's been good. I always say that among the 5 candidates, each and every one, if you take them individually, is good enough to lead the New Patriotic Party. And whoever wins this primaries is capable to become the next president.
And taking on the NDC.
Oh yes, it becomes. Okay,
I'll be
let me finish. But among the 5, among the 5, I have my preference.
Okay.
And I think which is Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the leading candidate. And I've been moving around the country with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm a core team member of the Bawumia campaign. From here, we are going to Krowo to campaign to the good people of Krowo constituencies and its environs. So for me, like I said, the 5 each and every one individually is good, but the one who stands, the one who is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, because of his competency, because he's the well-marketed, he's the formidable, he's been a running mate for 8 years, vice president for 8 years. He's the one every corner in this country knows. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Political consistency has paid in this Fourth Republic. NDC, they keep repeating their candidate and it bears fruit. NPP, when we presented Professor Duboahen and we lost, people have some thoughts that perhaps if we had repeated him in 1996, we could have won. But we brought a new candidate, that was candidate Kufuor in 1996. He didn't win. The party's wisdom was that, now let's repeat this particular candidate. Let's not fall into changing candidates every now and then. So we repeated Kufuor. He gave us victory in 2000. Same as President Akufo-Addo. When we presented him in 2008, he lost. But then because of the political consistency that has been proven to be successful, we repeated him on 2 or 3 occasions and he gave us power. So that is why I said we do not
we did the same thing
to reinvent the wheel. Bawumia must be repeated, and I believe that he will give NPP the required victory that we need in 2027.
Okay, all right. Honorable, I'll be coming to you shortly. Just do what you're doing for me. Let me see if I can engage Musa Danko for a couple of minutes. Musa, good morning again, if you can hear me now.
Good morning.
All right, so earlier I was asking that January is here. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to the D-Day. Are we still looking at the indications the way they are, or we're seeing some changes as we fast approach January 31st?
Right, thank you very much. On monthly basis, the numbers haven't changed significantly. But last week, we commenced weekly tracking poll. And that was our first, or what we call the baseline for the weekly poll. And that we saw a bit of movement in the numbers. We're not able to confirm it on this station or on this platform until we are all done. But nothing significant has changed in terms of Bawumia's numbers. It is the 10 numbers that are fluctuating.
Okay, so for the purposes of viewers who are getting to hear this for the first time, who's leading? You may not tell us what exactly you're finding out now, but previously, what was the standing like?
Now, previously, Bawumia was on 45%. Ken was 31%. And Brian was about 3%. And 11% were not disclosing their choices. And 9% were undecided.
So it means that if we were to vote today, if we were to do this voting today for the NPP, the most likely person that will be taking that, position is Dr. Bawumia.
Correct.
How is this going to impact the camp of Ken, if it so happens?
Look, there is something in the pool for him. If you add the undisclosed and undecided to him, he could possibly win. If you add undisclosed to him, it could be within 3% behind Bawumia. Then the fight has to be on the floating voters. So everybody has a chance of winning based on this poll.
When are we likely going to put a hold to the new ones that we're working on? And what you mentioned that it won't be, even if there's a change, it won't be very significant. But is there a time frame where we're going to eventually say that, okay, at this point we have decided this is what we're going with?
I think 24th January will be the date. We're going to release the final poll, which we have been tracking over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And that will give us the overall predictions, overall direction of where the race is going to end at. We are very confident that on that date, we can project who could win the race.
Do we know what is making this Dr. Bawumia's lead, what it is? Is this something that the voters have seen? Is this something that they've decided on, and that's the reason why they are making that decision to retain him?
The delegates share the belief that if you repeat a candidate, it helps the party to win the election. In the last poll that we conducted, about 50% of them believe in this assertion.
Okay.
And that is also one of the reasons why Bawumia is firm on the numbers. But again, Bawumia has what we call committed voters, people who are solidly behind him and they are not shifting their positions. Ken, on the other hand, he's very weak in terms of commitment. People commit to him, but not very much so compared to Bawumia. And that's why we've seen the fluctuation in his numbers. One time he does well, the other time you see him coming down, and the number going to undisclosed. He needs to move these people to committed voters, people who will commit to him day or night. At the moment, that is not happening.
This will be an interesting one, but I still want to ask you. We believe in the power of God. If the prophecies is anything to go by, is it most likely going to overturn what you think should be the case?
No.
The prophecies can't?
No.
Not in any way imagination of a miracle?
Look, I believe in science and data, and I believe in God. God will work with science.
Very well. Musa, thank you. If you're not busy, maybe you hold on to the conversation for me. I'll come back to you again. But let me go to Honorable and find out. Honorable, are we scared? Is the NDC scared of who eventually becomes, per what Musa is telling us, Dr. Bawumia may likely come back again?
How many minutes are you giving me?
Please go ahead. we're here to listen to you. So the floor is yours.
We are not. But let me do justice to some of the issues my brother raised. About my minister promising the nation 50,000 employment or recruitment. Yes, he did. He did on the...
That's the education ministry, you mean?
Yes, that's my boss. He did on the premise that we didn't promise to become and be paying the bondholders that they took their
No, come on.
They took their money, and for the first time we saw old men and old ladies holding walking sticks to go to the Ministry of Finance.
This is a weak defense. He made
This is the issue. Please, please,
on
please,
June
please,
25th.
please, This is Ghana. And this is the kitty you left. We left you a kitty in 2017, 120 billion. You were living and you left 726.7 billion. About 606 billion you borrowed. Fine, we don't say borrowing is not good. What did you use the money for? And when my brother says that the 10,000 or 12,000 kilometers of road is equals to what? From a road from here to Shanghai, you were shouting, now give us in Ghana's context where the roads are. Give us. That okay, we are not talking about Shanghai. We are talking about Ghana. Where are the roads? And this is the time that we Ghanaians must critically critique the politicians. Like my brother sitting down here.
Like yourself.
These are the figures that you people left. And we are talking about those figures.
You don't see the rules.
And today, if a government comes, we didn't promise Ghanaians we are coming to pay the Eurobond. We paid $700 million. Didn't you hear 247 last week?
Yep.
That is governance. What did they pay? What did they pay? We've invested about 9 billion in the energy sector. If we use that money, come to my Minister of Education, employ more than 50,000.
So
this is the mess. We are cleaning your mess. You must be quiet. Okay. The type of mess you left made your finance minister run away from this country. I shudder to see an NPP person sitting by me talking again about finance while their finance minister has run away from this country. And that is what we are talking. We are talking about facts and figures here.
You don't have.
What did they do to the NIB? We have come to pay about 1.9 billion Ghana cedis for NIB to come back to life again. They depleted the coffers. They had wanted to sell NIB. These are the people. And so when we are talking about economy today, you see, I feel shy having an NPP person sitting by me because the mess they have left, we are cleaning the mess. And within 1 year, we've been able to clean the mess, moving our debt to GDP from 61% to 43% within 12 months. And you have an NPP person sitting down with me saying, what? What is he talking about? We, my boss, have employed or engaged the people. If you have, Ghanaians have paid NPP appointees and you recruited people. You didn't show the way of paying their salaries. You give them appointment letters. Is that not it? Now a new government comes. You left a mess. You want him to, on the same day, to be employed. My boss did over 10,000. Those appointments that they said. Yes, they've started paying them. That makes sense. During their time, what did they do to even contractors?
That's not true.
We paid our 5 billion.
Have you paid contractors in this country?
5 billion. We paid 5 billion. What are you talking about? Didn't you hear? These are the people who don't read anything. They come and sit down here and talk.
Honorable. With due respect.
I will draw. So I cannot say that. No, I said I will draw. Be quiet. You are making noise. That's what I said.
No.
He's withdrawn that.
I've withdrawn.
And you can't tell me.
I've withdrawn 10 times.
I respect you. You cannot tell me I should be quiet. And I don't read anything. What are you talking about?
No. Once you are making your presentation,
I respect you. So like that respect me. Don't do that at all.
During their time,
you just been shaken by the question.
No.
I'll come back to you.
Respect yourself.
I'll come back to you.
Respect.
But if you disrespect me, I'm not going.
I said what I said. That is not.
He has done that. I
will draw 10,000.
Apologize.
But let us come.
That's not true.
Apologize.
No, look, we are in this country. These people, BEC people wrote exams. Why could not release their results? Just because they wouldn't pay.
The 100 and something.
122 million. They couldn't pay. These are the people in government wearing suits. They couldn't pay 120 for the BEC student to have their results to go to secondary school. We have paid that. They said, did you hear that we are owing anything? You can't just stand up and be talking about my minister. Because he has done the yeoman's job. The teacher trainings that the NPP people campaigned that we are going to cancel. Did we cancel it? The nursing training allowance, did we cancel it? Did Atufosin pay them? This is governance. And I'm saying that I'm not calling God just for calling it on political chauvinism. Because it has been a miracle for this country that we have a president that has been so prudent. We have the Minister of Finance that has been able to pay our debt. And today, Ghana City has appreciated for the first time over 40%. Or if my figure is right, that's it. Yeah. Have City appreciated under them? Even under us. We took the e-levy that they told us that if you don't pay e-levy, you can't even breathe in Ghana. We took it off. What happens? We took COVID levy off. What happens?
And how many?
We took betting tax off. What happens? This is governance. You know, even Jesus Christ, the time he came, he roamed the whole world looking for what? Apostles. Is that not it?
Yeah.
He got 12. Do you get it right? And one of them, Judas Iscariot, betrayed him. Is that not it? I am beginning to feel that we have the descendants of Judas Iscariot in Ghana.
And they are the NPP.
I say I'm beginning to feel that way. Because they see no good on anything that is good. They see no right on anything that is right. I am not campaigning. NPP should feel ashamed. And now, if Bawumia is coming, why should we be afraid? Because if you do management, you know that top-down approach is dictatorial and bottom-up approach is democratic. Is that not it? Why are they using the same polling station executives to vote here? Once you know every 4 years, you need to change them. If you lauded Bawumia so well,
that's the party.
Yes, even let me tell you, the party is headed by the Professor Michael Quay and others, isn't it? Didn't you hear Professor Michael Quay even talking against some of the laws he has passed in Parliament? Didn't you hear? Professor Michael Quay was the person sitting down and allowing Ken Ofurata to abuse us. I was in Parliament. Nobody called me to educate me on that. So today, to me, when Professor Michael Quay is speaking, I watch it with some curious eyes because I knew what he did to us. This Templeton bond. I was in Parliament. Adongo, Haruna, Idris Honorable, Atufosin. No, don't do it this way. They went ahead. I was sitting right there. So today, if you tell me Professor Michael Quay and others, please, I'll take it with a pinch of salt. Because no human being is perfect. You get it right. And I agree on that.
So you believe that bringing Bawumia will not change anything?
What is it going to change? The man who told my child, educate him on TV, that when you go to a place and they give you 1,000 interchanges and they put Ghana card, take Ghana card. Why will I be afraid of that person? 1,000 interchanges. Take it that I send my child to Japan and they are giving grants to Ghana card and 1,000 interchanges. And Bawumia have already educated my child that when you go to Japan, and you see 1,000 interchanges grant, don't take it, take Ghana card. What do you think will happen? What will be the impact? I am telling you that is what I am going to use to campaign if he wins. Because this man can deceive us. He did it before. 1,000 interchange, I should forget about. Look, if we have even 100 interchanges in this country, how will our businesses go? So they should bring him.
Okay.
We are not scared.
Okay, Honorable.
We are going to use governance. We are going to use.
I have not spoken. You have
proper governance. We are not going to debate on who is best or who is not best. We are going to use what? Proper governance. Where inflation, exchange rate, debt levels will come down. Where opportunities will be open. Listeners are making a mistake. When I was talking about agriculture, I'm talking about 24-hour economy. Okay. So it is not big put. And that is what we are going to use the voter basin for. The voter basin will be used for that. And then the lake will be used for transportation.
Very well.
And that's what Ghana is looking for.
Okay. All right.
So NPP, I am sorry, NPP is not that. We are going to
Honorable, it's okay. Let me wrap up.
Look at your balances and
you cannot disturb this program. You are done with your woman. You cannot go to the training office.
Too much. I will not talk again. You are being very disruptive.
Let me wrap up. My very last question to you.
Look at how you are sweating.
No, if you don't know me, who I am.
Gentlemen, your time. Musa, let me wrap up with you. From what we have heard, if Dr. Bawumia eventually picks up this note and is to face the NDC, how are the chances going to be looking at, knowing very well that the issue of consistency that Jeffrey spoke about, we're bringing the same person again? Would it make a difference?
Look, the reality is that we've done a scenario involving top 4 NDC candidates against Bawumia. And he's losing against all of them.
Wow. Regardless of whoever the NDC brings.
Yes, in terms of the 4 leading candidates.
Yeah.
Haruna Idrisu, Atufosin, Sedwin Ketia, and Julius Debra.
Dr. Bawumia will lose against any of them.
That's the current polling data.
Would it change? We have 3 years to do this. Would it change in any way?
Oh yes, definitely things will move up and down. For some of the candidates, it might be very close. And for some, the gap will still be there. Currently, the poll shows that Haruna Idrisu and Atufosin will get the biggest landslide possibly. But Sedwin Ketia and Julius might win with a whisker, which is not what you want to have.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for your time this morning, Mr. Dankwa. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Great. Mr. Dankwa is the Director for Global Info Analytics, joining us this morning. Jeffrey,
so
you have
time. I have time because
you know, whenever you talk about dry bones, who is more rattled? Is the old lady, old man, if you like. So I understand why Honorable here is so irate and all of us started shouting. With all the shouting, the fact still remains that your boss, as you say, now I understand, I'm getting the whole picture, that he
created a bigger picture for you too.
He's in the frame of, harboring the intent.
You still disagree with
harboring the intent to lead the NDC. And that is, and now I understand the spirited defense.
You didn't like the facts and figures that he gave?
No. See, the fact still remains.
What do you think it is?
The fact still remains. Of all the things that he said, the fact still remains that the Honorable Minister lied. June 25th, 2025. When did he realize that DDEP had been passed and was being rolled out in this country? When did he realize the books, the balance, and the expenditure when he took office? When was he appointed? I am talking about the chronology of his promise. On June 25th, I repeat, that by the end of this year, you are going to employ 50,000 teachers and 10,000 non-teaching staff. That is what I'm saying. I don't care about all the shouting and, disrespecting our viewers. I do not care about that. The fact still remains that your boss...
Beyond that, he mentioned that they've made some very significant gains.
The fact still remains that you said you were going to employ 50,000, which you didn't. That is fact. So I'm saying that beyond the rhetorics, if you go down, people are really suffering. Didn't you promise us in your first budget that you are going to create 240,000 jobs in agriculture? Did you do it? The 24-hour economy, did you do it? The Women's Development Fund, did you do it? Now, the 1 million coders, how many have you trained? So we are talking about your lies, and they will chase after you. Irrespective of the spirited argument that you raise, the fact is fact that on June 25th, he promised that he's going to do this, and he didn't.
Okay. Solo, do I go for messages and come back?
No, but anyhow, anyway.
Solo is the chillest person in the studio this morning. It's very, very chilled. All right, let me see if I can do. Can you guys help me out with my screen? Help me. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so this one says that, good morning. To be sincere, the NPP should go to total cleansing, remove bad leaders among them, stop lying to the people of Ghana, or the good ones among them should join Alan Chairman Ting. They should forget winning 2028, start bringing new leaders, stop supporting wrong members. Okay, so that's, this one says, KMG, welcome back. I'm sure the LI 2462 has been repealed, but there is mining going on in the Miriwa Forest Reserve in the BNE Bekwai municipality in the Western North region under the guise of licensing small-scale mining. So I urge NIMOS to take notice of that. I also want to know when His Excellency Mahama will sign into law the legislation of tricycles and Okada. Good morning, dear. Charles Champong sent in that one. Okay, I'm going to speak to Shandorf with regards to that issue of mining. I'm sure he would take care of that. Good morning, sir. In fact, Honorable Siama really articulates his points on just opposing the 2026 budget to that of 2024 budget, where prudent economic management has been experienced under His Excellency John Mahama. Investors' confidence has been built. Kudos to Honorable Siama, and I'm proud of him this morning, and that's from Erickson. Blueprint writes from Sikado Ketan. It says the NDC has really disappointed Ghanaians about the much touted 24-hour economy to the extent that the budget allocation is just 110 Ghana cedis million Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, this same government promised 4 billion Ghana cedis to facilitate the implementation of this policy. This is a clear disappointment and a slam on the faces of the teeming Ghanaians. Greetings to incoming flag bearer Kennedy in Japan. Can I get the next one? This one, Musa Bato in Asawasi says 2026 budget is going to be a promising one. A prudent and solid foundation has already been laid, and the positive signs are becoming evident. The economy is showing encouraging growth. The living standards of the average Ghanaian are improving, and this was clearly reflected in the unprecedented pre-Christmas festive season, where market women were jubilant due to record-breaking sales. God bless President Mahama and his economic management team for their commitment and effective stewardship. All right, let me get the next one. This one has itemized a few things. Okay, let me go on this. Good morning. I fully agree with them. NPP reps submission of the 24 economy, our economy. The only issue I have is that I don't think that will make me or an average Ghanaian to vote for NPP again. Yes, the NDC not fulfilled that promise, but the economy is way, way better, and the security situation has improved. Fuel is cheaper, food prices have reduced. Greetings to Mr. Solo, President of Neck Pressers Association. Happy New Year to everyone. Edie from Teshi sent in that. Can I get the next one? Good morning to you all. We are very proud of NDC government for bringing economic indicators back on track, especially cedi to dollar management today. Food commodity are affordable. The city is performing well in the international market, boosting investors' confidence. Business are back on track. Private sector are now doing well, from Big JT in Tamale Central. All right, let me. Please get me Master Planner's comment. Good morning, KMJ.
So is it not an arranged post?
Hey! No. Okay, let me read. Let me read what is there. Master Planner Junior Policy Analyst.
The point is,
it says fantastic. Can I just read? It says fantastic.
This is an arranged post.
Oh no. Let's read Master. It says fantastic submission by my boss Richard. So
because I know he's a
solid.
Everybody
26 days more to go. Dr. Bawumia is the most formidable, most marketed, and most experienced candidate to lead the NPP ahead of the 2028 general elections. Dear NPP delegates, please vote for Dr. Bawumia, number 3 on the ballot paper. Greetings to Honorable Yakubu Alasan, aka Big Mo, NPP organizer, Canada branch. We're good now.
Yeah.
Great. Let me get to the next one.
Please read Master Plan.
That shark says that if I may add,
political analyst.
yes.
That's how
Into opening biara, into opening biara any NPP mukra, hey boy, because it seems the party has turned into conflict zone. The indiscipline. Oh, you guys took it off. Good morning, my honorable host and your articulate guest. KMJ, please advise the NPP rep to wait for his turn, as we are tired of them even appearing on your programs. They have the guts to even come and argue. Wow, NPP. Okay, Med sent in that one. Let me go to the next one. Akonsi Gary back. Can you go up and then let me read what is okay? It says, I'm hoping that is the same. Okay, this is previous one. Can I get the latest ones? Okay. Good morning, KMG. Daching in watching from a Jamaica assistant. It says, Happy New Year to you and your cherished guest. Let's build this country with integrity and good stewardship. I always feel ashamed when an NPP member is talking ill about this current government. Whether Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia gets 99% in their primaries, he will never get 20% in the general election comes December 2028. Solomon is a great guy. I wish he is part of the ruling government. Solomon, you want to consider?
No, he says Solomon.
Solomon.
That is an NDC sympathizer.
Or is a communication director?
I have my portfolio, United Party.
Okay.
The party.
United Party pass.
United Plan.
Can I get the next one?
You can't take
but I need time for Solomon, so if we don't have time, let me just go back to Solomon. I think I've done enough messages. And now come about Tina Blake, my central says that Dr. Bawumia will lead NPP into victory 2028. Dr. Bawumia is the NPP surest bet to win power camp 2028. Fantastic greetings to Commander Moses Abo, NPP national organizer, hopeful. And that's in there. Good morning. To be sincere, the NPP should go to total cleansing move. Okay, I think I've written this one already. All right, let me give Solomon his time.
So we are talking about the NPP primaries.
Yes.
And my brother Richie started off by saying that NPP remains the most formidable opposition party. That is not true.
And I know you disagree with that.
The United Party remains the party to beat camp 2028. You see, the very figures that has been churned out by Musa Dankwa must be
very revealing. I don't know how.
But it has to be a source of worry to all of them, particularly Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It has to be a source of worry. If I were him, I would not even consider the idea of contesting election 2028. Why do I say so? Now, Musa Dankwa puts him at 45%. And mind you, Musa Dankwa is also in the same league with Ebo Noah, El Bernard. He also prophesied. Is it prophecy?
Prediction?
Prophecy is prediction. So he's also in the same league. Ebo Noah, El Bernard, Boahi. Now it has become business.
He said he did with science and data.
There is no science and data. Has he shown you the formula?
Call somebody.
But he usually provides that. Provides what? Now go and check the last. You see, you will get there. You will see the figure that you churn out on the 24th of January 2026. We are on the street too. They shouldn't worry our ears with some of these things. The last, Musa Dankwa is saying that 45% is what Bawumia will get, meaning 55% of NPP delegates do not support Mahmoud Bawumia. What this also means is that by getting 45%, he is not the winner. Because per the NPP's constitution, you have to get 50 plus 1. It means it will go into what? A run-up, going by his own figures. Now, in the last elections, in the last internal primaries of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia won with 61.74%. with that, the national elections, he got 41.74%. So if today, between only 2023 and 2026, the figure has reduced substantially from 61.74% to 45%, then it must be a source of worry to him. Right. I don't see why anybody must glorify these figures. It means that people have lost so much confidence in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But the reality of the NPP today is that their national chairman, elected national chairman, has gone away. He has abandoned the party. Remember Stephen Tim?
It's based on some...
Not that for the first time in the history of any political party that someone who contested, he contested for the position of the chairmanship for 4 times. So the 4th time that he won, he will not just easily cause his family members to write that he is...
well, his health is important.
Everybody would have, if he had care of that, was...
So you think it's deliberate to abandon the party?
He has realized that the party is kaput, it's collapsed, so I have to abandon it and go my way.
That's not true.
The man has left the party.
That's not true.
That is the national chairman of the party.
That's not true.
As we speak, the NPP has 87 members of parliament. That is the reality of the NPP. By the way, let me extend my condolences to the MP that's Nasir Toure, to the family. Yet from here, I'll pass by and greet the family. As we speak, the NPP has no MP in about 4 regions of this country, 4 or 5 regions of this country. That is the reality. They are underestimating the pain, the anger with which Ghanaians voted them out of power. And they are thinking that every day, every now that we see the big hole in reach, it encourages us to love the NPP. That's what they are forgetting. Now here my brothers, especially from the Bawumia camp, say that, oh, he has been marketed. He has, when we say market, KMG.
Yeah.
You could be a pork, and this illustration, my brother Ebu Bakman always use it. And it's real, it's a living example. You could be marketing pork in the Zongos or the Muslim community for 100 years, you will still not have buyers.
Yes.
The mere fact that consistently you are sending the pork to the Muslim community does not mean...
There could be a change one day.
Who is going to change?
The wind blows.
There is no wind when they remember what pork has done to them. When they remember that this was the same man that told us that when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose them, and that he was coming to stabilize our economy and then make Ghanaians live a better life. He came, and then the cedi skyrocketed to 17 cedi to $1. And he's the person that you are bringing to us? Come on. He brought us a digital address system. Before he brought that and took about $5 million from us, we had Google in this country. Google was happening. Everybody uses Google. That Ghana Post, whatever, have you been using it? But somebody took money for it.
That's of this.
You understand? He introduced, at the time we have been talking about youth unemployment. Can you imagine that an economist who should know better would rather cause for his government to invest close to $4 billion into a program called NAPCO, Nation Builders Corp? That someone goes to school, finishes university, goes to pay a high hostel fees, and that all that the person deserves after school, you will be paid 700 cedis. At the same time, the same government had a policy called one district, one factory. One district, one factory. That they could have put that money into the trade and industry sector so that businesses could access at cheaper rates to expand their businesses and absorb all these graduates and pay them well. He took that money and told Ghanaians, I've said that this government, I don't know, maybe they are also culpable, that they should be investigating that. The NAPCO, I can bet my last person that they never employ 100,000 people. They should call for the full list of all those that took that money. They have told us that they were paying every month 100,000 Ghanaians. Do you believe in KMG? So that is the reality of the NPP. Nothing.
But regardless, we can't give him a chance since he's been asking.
No, but the truth of
the main driver, we can't give him.
No, so the truth of the matter is that election 2028, they will be meeting the last John in our body politic. We have been doing the John businesses. I've been telling you, we did John Rawlings in 1992, we did John Rawlings in 1996, we did John Ejekunkufor in 2000, we did John Ejekunkufor in 2004, we did John Evans Atamels in 2008, we did John Mahama in 2012, we did John Mahama in 2016. We made a mistake. For 2016, we brought in Nana. We changed the John narrative and brought in Nana. You have a hole at Ridge. When you decided to do that, you had a hole at Ridge. And quickly the Ghanaian turned around and said, look, let's restore the Johns. And brought back John Mahama. So there is a large John who is John Island Chamanti. He will be on the ballot in 2028. That election will be on who is having that plan to liberate the people of this country, and not the semantics.
Okay.
And not the semantics.
KMG, quick one.
But if you are going to give me quick, will you give me quick?
No, I'm just saying. Chairman Stephen Ntim remains the chairman of the New Patriotic Party.
He has got a wound.
And he is sick, so we have to be very sensitive when it comes to these matters. He's got family. So it is not in your right to use...
What are you talking about? The man was voted for as a national chairman. You are making an analysis that he's no more than a national chairman. You are saying that you have a problem with that.
Solo, what he's trying to explain is the fact that this was something that was sent by the family, that he's not in a good condition.
One chairman,
we can't trivialize.
One chairman, no, it's not trivialized. One chairman,
he also made a false
trivialize that.
I don't get surprised when I hear NPP talking about people who are sick.
Can you imagine?
Because what they did to our Tamils, they are MPs in parliament. So when we are talking, don't let MPP man tell you that. They don't have sympathy for sick people. No, but they talk is that they don't have
it has nothing to do with the position.
I didn't say so, I said they should not talk. I have to talk about sick person tell solution.
But what Britain is even
but these people,
it is either here nor there.
These people.
KMG, will you give me... I am repeating. That's Chairman Stephen Ntim remains the chairman of the New Patriotic Party, but due to ill health, and I send my sincere greetings and regards to him. In 2012, Akufo-Addo, the candidate that we presented, we lost 7. There were 7 regions where NPP didn't have any MP. So it's not an unprecedented thing. We are working as a party to avert these things. In 1996, President Kufuor, the current structure, we didn't have any MP in 8 of the current regions. So I am saying that this, where we find ourselves as NPP, is not a new thing. You can fall 7 times. The chalk or the main cross is how you rise up. And that is what we are doing. We are doing self-introspection. We are working towards the roadmap towards MPP rebranding. And we believe that the final nail to the coffin will be on 31st January, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be elected the flag bearer. And then all the party faithfuls will come together to lead Ghana in 2028.
Okay.
NAPCO.
Let me also have a
wrapping up comments was supposed to have been used for the passing of the NPP.
He has exhausted.
But I quickly want to touch the
now if you touch on it, I'll touch on something.
Because he said that so the NAPCO was a stopgap, because remember, post 20...
You use my tax revenue for a stopgap.
2016.
Is that what you are telling me?
2016, we had Unemployment Graduate Association in this country. The situation was so dire. So one of the key recommendations from these employers was that they are unable to get candidates with employable skills. And so they came up with this NAPCO so that it's like an apprenticeship sort of thing, where people will get the needed experience required for them to be viable.
Don't forget you are all in NPP. It's not true.
At the end
this
of
position
the day,
is not true.
100,000 people.
No.
100,000
this
people enrolled.
But
60,000 of them were employed.
By who?
60,000 of the 100,000.
They must investigate that. It's never true.
We all know the problem with NAPCO.
Yes, and I appreciate.
Never pay them.
And I don't know. Will you let me speak? No.
For too long.
Right.
And that was cooked by Dr. Owusu.
This is
9 months salary. They start them. Is that the NAPCO?
Will you let me speak?
And you are saying,
will you let me speak?
No.
So you will let me speak.
As for NAPCO,
that'll be our time. On behalf of the gentlemen employed,
I will employ them.
They start them for 9 months. I said,
people are just
But you have teachers and nurses in London, you haven't paid. You shouldn't talk. You shouldn't talk. You shouldn't talk. You shouldn't talk. You should be the last person.
Yes.
On behalf of the gentleman in the studio, our sincere condolences to the family.
What happened to automatic
MP. And no, they won't do their remarks. They have done the remarks in the noise already.
Let us do our remarks.
It's okay. So I am sending your condolences.
Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and my condolences to Mahama.
So you ended up doing the remarks.
So he's been buried at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes,
and our heartfelt sympathy.
That's your remarks too.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Yeah,
your remarks as well.
It's very sad. My regards to Crowell people. We see
this job called MPA. It's not easy.
Flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bami.
It's a
and
killing job.
Sincere condolences to Honorable Mahama at Ayawa Street East. I think it's sad.
Yeah.
From all sort of accounts, he seems to be a very
nice person.
Oh, yes.
Very nice person.
The struggles that come with politics. MP is
that's what I'm telling the young ones, that don't rush to parliament.
No, but that's why I agree with the constitutional review that when you go to parliament, they should not make you a minister, so that we will see those that really want to be in parliament.
Yeah, that is.
They take off the pressure from you.
Anyway, a big thank you to you for joining me this morning. I'm grateful for your time here on the show. Richard Jemfi, Honorable Daniela Sharma, Solomon Owusu for joining us. Big thank you to Mr. Agba for joining us.
But they were skipping.
And let's say thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise,
regular tester.
Coa Natural Fruit Juice, also making it possible for us to have this conversation here on the show.